Good evening, Ruby. At midnight, I'm going to wish you good morning. I get into my car and head home. That means we have 15 minutes to talk. I want to deal with an issue on which I know many of you are reflecting. And it has to do with the question of what is the status of the relationship between Mia and Owen, and how is that going to impact on the party and on the government if the Labour Party forms the government on the 21st of February. And I want to say this. In political parties, fights for positioning and leadership will occur. David Thompson, in 2001, after the St. Thomas by-election, said nobody was listening to him. He couldn't get any discipline in the party. He was tired of leading, and he was done with that he would let them choose anybody they want to lead the Democratic Labour Party, but it would not be him. He rarely spoke in Parliament after that. He dealt with no issues publicly, and he remained in the background of the Democratic Labour Party until about 2006, 2007. Clyde Maskell took over the leadership, and when David Thompson was again ready to lead, his parliamentary group asked Clyde to step aside in a very crude letter that they dismissed him. And he reemerged, Thompson reemerged to lead the Democratic Labour Party. During that period, Frundell Stewart challenged Thompson for the presidency of the Democratic Labour Party. And he wrote a most vicious letter. I'm not going to go into the details tonight because we really don't have time. It is in my handbag. Some of you may not remember it. And sent it out to the membership of the Democratic Labour Party and to the councils of the Democratic Labour Party. He said Thompson would be a disaster if he led the country, that there was viciousness and bloodletting in his style of leadership, that he was not communicating with people. Stewart blistered David Thompson and still turned around and served as his deputy prime minister. Now, people want to make an issue of the fact that the Barbados Labour Party leadership made a decision, membership made a decision that they were going to change from Mia to Owen. These things happen in political parties. And Mia, to her credit, is every day, every night, working for an Owen Arthur and Labour Party victory because she believes that he has the skills that the country needs at this time. And nobody can say that she has ever made any negative statement about him in the public domain. And just as Frundell, who had his differences with Thompson, served at a high level with Thompson, then clearly there is no need to worry because Mia is clearly at comfort with the relationship between she and Owen. And the letter, the note that appeared in the paper, take this child, or take her off my hands, or whatever the language was. If you think about it, quite frankly, it is the language used in our culture. Sometimes when your child is given a little trouble, and you see it a lot with little children, the mother would tell you, oh Lord, he's so troublesome, you don't want to take him home with you. Or, oh Lord, she giving me so much trouble, you don't want her. I would give her to you, you ain't got to pay the money, I would buy her. So here were two prime ministers talking, and one said to the other, man, she's giving me some trouble, take her off my hands. So what? Mia is a loyal member of the Barbados Labour Party, working with Owen Arthur to bring the Barbados Labour Party back to government, not because we are power hungry, but because we have the programs, the policies, and the people who can make a critical difference in your quality of life. And people in this area are computer literate. You have computers. Go online and read the manifesto. I don't have time to go through it. The provisions for seniors, like the Seniors Protection Act, to ensure they are not robbed and abused. The reverse mortgage. The $10,000 tax credit for health that you can spend on children or on the elderly. A provision to extend care for senior citizens. The issues relating to CLECO. The manifesto deals deliberately with the cost of living, promising to take the VAT off of a basket of goods, and particularly goods for diabetics. It addresses the issue of information technology and the development of the business sector. And it says to you, if you want to start a new business in Barbados, we pledge to you that your first 3 years will be completely tax-free, to allow you to catch your hand, to build the business, to break even, and then move from there. There are provisions that deal with property owners, where we are restoring the first $200,000 of value on the house. You will not pay land tax on that. We are going to restore the land tax to 2007 levels. So your land tax immediately is being lowered on two fronts. On the fact that you will not have to pay any tax at all on the first $200,000 of value. And secondly, the valuation rate moves back to 2007. Those are huge savings in your pocket. What we have had from this Democratic Labour Party is the largest, most vicious assault on the middle class, with the removal of the allowances, the increases in taxes, the increases in personal income tax, the increases in land tax, the increases in water rates, the increases in electricity, the increases in bus fares. On every aspect of life and quality of life, cash in your hand has been reduced. And the Democratic Labour Party, because it has failed so miserably on issues of the economy, is running a campaign which says this campaign is not about the economy. It is about building a society. You do not build bricks out of straw. You can only have beneficial social policies and programs when your economic fundamentals are strong. They are running a campaign where they are saying this economy is about values. And I say to you tonight, value yourself. Value cash in your pocket. They say Frondell is nice, that he is reliable, that he decent, that he got integrity, that he is calm. These things are absolutely fantastic for Frondell, but not for you and not for Barbados, because this is not a contest for Mr. Congeniality. It is a contest for Mr. Competent. And when competency comes to the issue of managing the economy, to the issue of fiscal management, it is Owen Arthur on whom you have to rely. It is Owen Arthur who previously created 35,000 jobs, lowered unemployment to 6.7%. It is Owen Arthur who found our foreign reserves at 348 million and left them at 2.75 billion. It is Owen Arthur who, when the economy was under threat from the OECD, said we will fight you on the issue, and fought the OECD successfully. Compare that with the economic record of the Democratic Labour Party and ask yourself in your heart of hearts if you truly believe that this government has any program, policy, or solution that can make a difference to putting cash in your pocket, that can make a difference to reducing the cost of living, that can make a difference to what you are experiencing. And they say the Democratic Labour Party that things were bad when they came. And I say to you that if you look at economic statistics, economic data, that there are 186 countries in the world which are growing. That the Caribbean growth rate is averaging 3.5%, but the Barbados economy is growing at less than 1 percentage point. I say to you, go back, search your memory. Some of you keep old newspapers. Find the newspapers for the first quarter of 2008. Standards & Poor's, Moody's, the IMF, the IDB, all of them did commentary after elections on the state of the economy and said the macro fundamentals of the economy were sound, and that if the new administration continued the economic agenda on which the Barbados Labour Party had put the country, that the country would be safe and the economy sound. And at that time, our economy had an A rating. It now has a junk bond status rating. And days before we were given that classification, there was a budget. But the Minister of Finance did not take us into his confidence and say, more turbulent waters are coming and this is how I propose to deal with them. The governor of the central bank said, well, he didn't even know it was coming. That's how bad it is. It is critical for us to remember that things were better before. And part of the problem is not the debt. The Barbados Labour Party reached a $5 billion debt in 14 years. The Democratic Labour Party in 5 years in government created $2.75 billion in debt. Google it and get the report of the Barbados Economic Society, an article written by Ryan Strawn, maybe the president of the Barbados Economic Society, a week or two ago. And you will be able to see he lays it out. And he says that this administration, because of its tax policy, has had more money available to it than the Barbados Labour Party ever had. I mean, it is a fantastic article for those of you who want to analyze the situation dispassionately. We had an opportunity to raise bus fares, never did. All of the things, we had an opportunity to impose payment for health care, we never did. We had an opportunity to owe the University of the West Indies so that the financing of education at the tertiary level is under threat. We never did that. So look at what is the difference between the first quarter of 2008, when the economy was given an A rating, and the last quarter of 2007, when, I beg your pardon, of 2012, when we got a junk bond status rating. The difference is the Democratic Labour Party and their policies. So you must reject this notion that the playing field was bad and things bad all over the world. Because when you look at the economic data, when you look at the financial statistics, it is not supporting this argument of the Democratic Labour Party. And they have to answer to you for why it is that they said their primary focus was the cost of living in this country, and they have not addressed it. And further than addressing it, they have put taxes and policies in place which have made things harder. And when people have cried out and said we want to ease, there is nothing about the cost of living in their manifesto. And furthermore, the Prime Minister is saying to you, if you want money in your pocket, check the drug dealers. That is not his responsibility. Well, if it isn't his, Owen Arthur will accept that responsibility. And the Barbados Labour Party will accept that responsibility. He has also said that there are people in Barbados who want things Everybody wants something. And y'all are like sucking on the nipples of the pig. And y'all now need to be pulled off. He said that. I think it is time to pull him off. And pull off the rest of the Democratic Labor Party. Mitt Romney ran in an election in the United States where he said that 47% of the people in the U.S. want things. Frundell is doing worse than that because he is saying, y'all are sucking on the pig, it is getting dry, he pulling y'all off, and if you want things, check the drug dealers. So if Mitt Romney could not win after making statements of that sort, there is no way we should allow a prime minister to speak to us in those kinds of terms. I said tonight, oh no, we are removing our nipples from his mouth. And we are removing our nipples from the mouth of the Democratic Labor Party. After 5 years, our nipples are sore. And we can't even afford the little Vaseline to rub on them and make them feel better. So we getting rid of them. We getting rid of them. It is midnight. I believe we are supposed to end at midnight, and I want to fall within the letter of the law. We have meetings tomorrow. It is time for us to recognize that the propaganda of the Democratic Labor Party should not get through. It is time for us to recognize that we must place a higher value on ourselves than the Democratic Labor Party places on us. Do not talk about giving them a chance. It is not a lucky dip that you're running. It is a country. It is our future. It is whether the leadership that they have given us reaches the high mark to which we have become accustomed. It is a matter of seeing now that places like Haiti are growing far faster than us. Guyana growing faster than us. Countries that used to be smelling our smoke as we sped off and were far ahead. We can't catch them now. And I have been saying that this campaign is about moving from junk to greatness, to restoring Barbados' name, its economy, its reputation, and our quality of life as a proud, hardworking Barbadian people. It is time to move us from junk to greatness. And the Democratic Labor Party cannot and will not do that. And Mr. Stewart, I am not going to drug dealers. The people of Barbados are not going to drug dealers. The people of this constituency are not going to drug dealers. We are going to the alternative agenda of the Barbados Labor Party because we are moving forward, upward and onward with the Barbados Labor Party. We do not want past to distress. We really want the kind of progress that we previously had under the Barbados Labor Party. Go out on the 21st and say to Frundell Stewart and the Democratic Labor Party, in the name of God and in the name of Barbados, go home, take your retirement, go back to sleep. We need to go forward and we cannot do it with you. We gave you your chance. We are now doing it without you. Good night, people. God bless you.
Yeah, we ready to switch, fed up on them, so we ready to switch.
Okay.
Switch.
We done with them, we don't want them, knock them again.
That's why we switch.
We done with them, we don't want them, knock them again.
That's why we switch.
We done with them, we don't want them.
Thank you, all of you that came out and supported this meeting. Thank you to the residents of Ruby Park for allowing us tonight to intrude on your little sleep so that we can spread the message of the Barbados Labor Party.